Oh, can we just say what is nourishment? Because to me, nourishment could be different to Moira than what it is to me. That could be different to
Mhm.
a child listening, or a teenager listening to this podcast, or a male, or a female, or a different age group. So, how would you sum up nourish?
So to me, nourish is feeding, nurturing, giving sustenance to. But in on a very it nourish to me is like is it. You think of an example would be you can be nourished by really beautiful, healthy gourmet meal. And so to me, that is what nourish is. It's healthy, it's gourmet, it's the best that you can get to feed all aspects of you.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello. Hi, Moira.
Hello, my dear.
And hello, listeners. This is our deliciously motivated mindset. I say deliciously, right? Deliciously motivated mindset conversation with Debz. That would be me, and Moira, and that would be
Me.
her.
That would be me over here.
That would be her. Woohoo! Today, yay! Oh, welcome to the new people. Welcome to the old people. Welcome to the people who have been around and disappeared and come back again, because today we are talking about top tips to nourish all aspects of
You. Nourishing all aspects of you. This is going to be a good one.
This will be an interesting one, because I've been away and I'm feeling a little bit, I'll say jet lag, jaded a little bit. So I'm looking forward to what tips I give myself and what Moira gives myself here today. So it might be about you podcast listeners, but also might just be about me. Just saying, because guess what? And if you're sitting there listening to this with a friend or you're in the car, it's about them as well, because it's you, meaning anyone who's listening.
The collective you.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, the collective. All aspects of all of us.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the one. So let's crack on with today. So one of the things we do is we do what do we actually call it? I don't even know if
it's our PEMS check-in or a PEMS assessment.
Assessment.
PEMS, being physical, PEMS, emotional, mental, spiritual.
Perfect. So it's the 4 pillars. PEMS is the PEMS, if you didn't know, because Moira has an accent. And what we do is we check in where we are for all of those out of a 0 to 10. And 10, between 9 and 11, that number, is when you're absolutely, Moira's word is discombobulated.
Yep. You're totally discombobulated.
Shambles.
Yep.
That's, that's it. You're discombobulated. That's a 10. And then, you have the 8 and the 7 and the 6 and the 5, and you're wobbling a little bit, and there's craziness going on around you and all those things. And then there's a 3, and then there's a 2 when people are reacting and you're not as reacting as much. And then there's a 0 or a naught. Do you say 0 or naught? Say 0. I say 0.
I say 0. Yeah.
Or a naught. I don't care what you
can
call
say
it.
Naught if you want.
Yeah, naught doing that. A naught is 0 is when you are just not worried about the past, the present, and the future. And when I say not worried about it, you're not like, because the past is done, The future's going to happen. And the present is you're not actually worried about what you're dealing with right here, right now. You're in a neutral space. You're balanced. You're neutral. You're neutral.
You're feeling, neutral, at ease.
Not
peaceful.
challenged by anything, not elated about anything. Your feelings are a fulfillment, would be. Yeah. I try and say it, word it differently each time. I think that's probably my problem. Anyway, so that's a 0. So we rate ourselves. So please rate yourself now. We rate ourselves. We also rate it at halftime, and then we do a check-in at the end. And our intention is clearly to take you to that 0. But there might be a tip that we give one tip in here, and it can take you from a 5 to an 8. Or it could also take you from an 8 to a 3. So don't worry about if you're sitting here at an 8 and then you're like, oh my God, we're coming up to near the end of this podcast and they're wrapping up and I'm still at an 8, because there will be something that will shift you. And so just let us know. So that's where we're at. So in saying that, people, get your pen, paper, note-taking device, whatever it is, and the first thing you're going to write down is your number. And then we're going to crack on. So, Moira, what is your number?
I'm a 1.5. How about you?
I'm a 2.5.
Okay.
I keep rubbing my eye for some strange reason. And that's it. That's as simple as it has to be.
Yep.
Not often it's that simple for me because I overthink everything and go, it's just a number. But anyway, I'm a 2.5. Moira's a 1.5. So let's crack on. Top tips to nourish all aspects of you. Oh, can we just say, what is nourishment? Because to me, nourishment could be different to Moira than what it is to me. That it could be different to a child listening, or a teenager listening to this podcast, or a male, or a female, or a different age group. So, how would you sum up nourish? Nourishment, nourish.
So to me, nourish is feeding, nurturing, giving sustenance to. But nourish to me is like you think of an example would be you can be nourished by really beautiful, healthy gourmet meal, and to me that is what nourish is. It's healthy, it's gourmet, it's the best that you can get to feed all aspects of you, as opposed to a McDonald's hamburger, because that's not really, to me, that's not nourish. That's just throwing something.
Unless you haven't eaten for so long and you just need to get something into you right there and then.
If that's all you can get, then okay. Yeah. So it's a high caliber sustenance.
Yeah.
That's kind of what. How about you?
Yeah.
How do you?
I would just say, because as you were talking, I was like, oh, now, Deborah, what would you describe nourishing as? Is anything that lights you up that's not giving you an elation or a deflation, would be something that just feels fulfilled. So you've eaten with, say you've drunk something and it just feels right in your body. That's nourishment. Or you've stood in the sun and it's nourishment, because it just fills you up with, I'm not going to say joy, but it just fills you up with.
It feels good. It feels good. Yeah.
But without the pom-pom elation of, oh yeah, this feels good. Yeah, I've got to do more of this. Without that part. Something that just fills you up with, like a glitter bomb, but not sprinkle with glitter.
So it's like a satisfied, sustaining, feels good.
Yeah, fulfilling, I think.
Yeah, I like fulfilling.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, I'm pleased we know what we're talking about now, because that's always helpful.
It is.
But when I saw that word nourish, I thought, oh, so you can talk to a male and his nourishment would be different to a female, or a younger child or something. Okay, right. So so there you go, people. So make a note of what you think nourishment is, or nourish.
Yeah.
Because that I think once you're clear on that might help you a little bit. Tip 1, get clear on your own nourishment. Tip 1.
Get clear on what nourishment is to you. Yeah.
And know that today it can change to tomorrow. Like, even though Moira said about McDonald's isn't my go-to, but I do know sometimes that's it. That's like, okay, that's it. I just need to fill something. That sounds wrong. I just need to fill. And so that's it. but you've got to do nourishment without guilt, I think.
Yes.
Maybe that's tip 2, actually.
Yeah. No guilt or shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because if you are in a real hurry and you don't have time to make something, actually because I will do this. If I have run out of time and I haven't prepared anything for supper, then I'm going to have something that's maybe not the healthiest option, but it's the one that I can grab right in that time frame. So it's that's kind of, I like that you're saying tip number 2 is to release any propensity for shame or guilt, because I'm doing the best with what I've got right now. What's my bandwidth here, and what can I use to fit it with the requirement of needing nourishment, right?
I think that's our thing, is we do say, like I often say, I would bring my daughter up differently now with the knowledge I have, but back then I have, like, I wouldn't, when I say I would bring her up differently, I definitely would bring her up differently, but I definitely wouldn't take back how I brought her up. I wouldn't go back and change that. But if I brought her up now in this era with my age, my support system around me, my finances, my business, my knowledge, those things, I would definitely bring her up differently.
Well, of course you would, because the version of you that brought her up doesn't exist anymore.
Absolutely. But I don't have guilt or shame about the way I brought her up, because that's what I did with the best of what I had there and then. Yeah,
absolutely. I want to bring this more into, so I would say tip number 3 is to acknowledge that we are all multi-dimensional beings, meaning when we're looking at nourishing ourselves, we need to be nourishing our mind with healthy words and thoughts and ideas and intentions. We need to be nourishing our emotions with things that feel uplifting and comforting and good and fulfilling. There's that fulfilling word again.
Yeah.
We need to be nourishing our body with good, deep breathing and allowing ourselves to tap into the energetic flow that can tap into. So nourishing your body is not just what you feed it with, in eating wise. It's also about your breathing and your exercise and your stretching and things of that nature, right? So it's about looking at, that's what the title says, it's all aspects of you. So are you aware of and are you attending to all aspects of you? And what does that mean to you? Right?
Yeah. I love that, because we are all, you talk about that, multiple dimensional beings, and I love that, because it's just such a it's not a niche. It's not a niche. It's not a niche. It's like a platter of food. I said that recently to someone, they went, what? And I said, well, just because you listen to people, it doesn't mean you have to take that steak off that platter of food. When you go to a small, I'll have that and that and that and that and that, and then you overeat. Like, but I like that, because we are multidimensional. And so just take what feels right for you. I think I just want to add on to that, and I'm going to put this as a separate tip, because it's, I learned this when I found out I was pregnant, is everything is movable. So it's not,
you've said this one before. I love this one.
It's not permanent. Just because it may feel like it's in concrete, it's everything is movable. Everything is not permanent. You may think right now the situation you're in financially, or right now the situation you're in mentally, or right now the situation you're in physically is not permanent. Like, I'm a very firm believer, and I don't care what situation you're in, it is not permanent. You may go, I'm in a wheelchair for forever. Okay, well, just for the record, when you get into bed, you're not in a wheelchair, so there, you're not permanent. Okay, I'm just going to throw that one right out there. That's a little bit of a cheeky one, but everything is everything is movable, and it's not permanent. I just want to really emphasize that, because we sometimes get so stuck on that.
Because the thing is thinking it so can make it that way. Right? So because if you keep if you keep retelling it and holding on to
telling
it,
their
then
story. Yeah.
then
Maybe that's the other thing is maybe that's a tip on its own is what are you saying to yourself?
yeah.
Like,
What are you saying to yourself? And how does it make you feel about yourself? Because if you're saying things to yourself like, oh, this sucks and this is never going to change.
yeah.
Say, for instance, how does it make you feel? Well, likely if you're saying that, it makes you feel pretty sucky, pretty heavy, pretty weighted down, pretty cooped in a box,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
can you release that?
Yeah.
Release what you're saying.
Well, that's and that's stories that you're telling yourself, that repeated story, but also other people's stories as well. Be aware of what other, like I just said, about the smorgasbord, people complain about their life. You go, oh yeah, I've got that too. Oh yeah, I've got that. Watch other people's stories so you don't have to get attached to their stories.
Yeah, it's super important to realize that's their story.
Mm.
You may resonate
Relate
with a component of it, but just recognize I'm just resonating with a component of it. I don't need to take it on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. We don't need to animate it. So that's another tip too, is what is showing up for you and do you like it? Because oftentimes what's showing up for you is what you've put in motion by what you've asked for, what you haven't asked for, what you believe in yourself, what kind of patterns are you repeating?
I often do something and then I'm like, oh, duh, you asked for this. And it's literally, as soon as it happens, I'm like, duh. That's my good internal language for myself. Duh, you asked for this. I'm like, of course you got this, because you're so strong in manifesting things that, you'd think about, bring about, and it's that quick. Of course you said, oh, I just want to break. And then you break your ankle. Oh, I just want to rest. Or whatever.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so I've just been away. So here's literally the story. I've been away and I got dropped off at the airport and I heard this thump when I brought my bag out and I went, oh, wouldn't that be funny if that was my phone? Giggle. I literally said, wouldn't that be funny? But prior to that, I went, oh, I can't wait to get on the plane and have no one text me for 3.5 hours, is what I said to myself. Can't wait to get on that plane and have no one text me. That's where I was at. And then I heard that and I said, oh, wouldn't that be funny if that was my phone? Giggle. Like there's an hour difference between the thing. Get through customs, get through, because it was an international flight, get through to the other side, sit down in the airport lounge, I went, oh, where's that phone? Where's that phone? And I could hear it in my tone. And I looked in my bag and I started ringing it and I went, it's not in here. And what did I do? I realized I left that in the car as I got dropped off at the airport. And I literally went, duh. You said that to yourself. I know. And you said it to yourself twice because you said, oh, I can't wait to get on the plane and have no one text me, was one.
Right.
And then as soon as I heard that, I went, oh, wouldn't that be funny? How flippin' funny is that, Deborah?
How's that working for you now?
Got a broken phone that doesn't have Face ID. I'm waiting on my other phone to come over. But this is exactly it. So watch. You've got what is showing up for you and do you like it? What are you saying to yourself? Like, watch those words.
So important because when we're doing this, nourishing all aspects of you, this really does require us. It's huge
to be present.
Exactly. It requires us to be the observed and the observer. Because like you said, in unpacking what happened, you can go, oh, look, I created this. Yay, me. Not. But I created it.
I couldn't get angry with anyone. Couldn't get angry with anyone. And even I couldn't get angry with myself or the universe. I literally went, duh, you asked for this. And then I went, no, you didn't just ask for it once, you asked for it twice. Right. Because you asked for it. And then the universe gave you a teaser and you said, oh, wouldn't that be funny if that was my phone? The universe is like probably going, duh.
Well, that's you. That's what you asked for. That's what you asked for. But that's the thing about the universe is like that. So this is how come when we are nourishing all aspects of ourselves, this is why we were talking about it being healthy sustenance that we're giving ourselves. Because if we go into that kind of like, oh, wouldn't that be funny? Or being a wee bit flippant about what we're saying to the universe, I would love to have this. Okay, make sure that if it comes out, if you're going to actually do that, and here's a wee caveat that I really encourage people
Oh,
to
no, here we go. What? I wish you'd told me this one beforehand.
Cancel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we did that before you got on the call, didn't we?
Because... Yeah, you did.
Actually, I forgot about that one. Damn.
Because that, and you can do that when you're staying very present to go, oh, wait, that's not what I intended to have come out. That's just like, cancel that. Because the universe is very obedient. It's like, but sir, but madam, I thought that's what you just asked for. You did just ask for that.
Oh, it is. I know. I did. I literally did. I giggled. I mean, for me, I laugh a lot, and I just find that helps me get through.
Yeah, me too.
And I literally just went, of course. And you can hear Moira go, but of course, because she always has a but of course. And I'm like, of course I asked for that. Of course. And I go, and I said it twice. So I said it once, and then the universe actually made the thump that I actually went, oh, wouldn't that be funny? Like, it actually went, hey, Deborah, you can stop this at any time. We've given you a warning. Like, we've shown you a warning or whatever, and we've made it loud enough
for you to clue in. Do you really want this?
Yeah, okay. Do you really want this phone or not?
So now we will make it so.
So I just, it's become a little bit of an expensive exercise, me saying, oh, I can't wait to get on the plane. Not text anyone. That was my one. So that just happened. So I heard myself. I heard my words, but I didn't hear them until I'd got myself into a flat, until I went, where is it? Oh, now I remember.
And then connected all the dots.
Because I wasn't rushing or anything. I was present. I was sitting in the lounge. I'd sat down. I'd whipped away to the toilet. I got everything. Got myself settled, and then I thought, I'll quickly charge my phone. Oh no! And that's literally how it went.
But how did it feel to have the time out with no text? Did you enjoy it?
I hated it. I hated it because when I hated it, and I have to get rid of that. Listen to me, I hate it because I got off the airport and I was staying in a hotel. I had no directions to go to the hotel. You don't know how much you use. Like, I've really relied on technology, and there's definitely something going on for me because I didn't know how to get to the hotel. I got to pick my car up, and I had to extend it for another week. But they also said, oh, do you have your booking number? And I'm like, no, it's on my phone. And they went, oh, I don't know if we can find it. Can we ring your phone? I went, no, because it's in Australia. And so then they spent 20 minutes, and this is 2:30 in the morning. They spent 20 minutes trying to find my car, and we'd only just got the car. So she said, what type of car is it? I said, it's a Holden, and it's red. And she goes, do you know the registration? I said, no, we just got it like a couple of weeks before I brought it up here. She's like, you must know your number plate. I would if I had my phone. And every question she asked me, it was really interesting. But yesterday, I have LastPass saves all my passwords on my computer, and I could not access that. And guess where my password is? On my phone. So there's clearly some technology going.
So there's some pieces in
there's
here
a bigger picture.
Nourishing. There's not all aspects of you being nourished.
No, but it's making me go, oh, without going, why me? Which I'm not going to do. But it was more like, oh, what's going on? Let's just see if we can figure this out. And so I'm trusting that it's going to unfold for me. But even I couldn't get into my LastPass, and the lady, when I contacted support, they said, oh, well, we can cancel your account and open you a new one. I'm thinking,
I think that's the only thing that they can do.
I know. I'm thinking, why would I want to cancel my account and open a new one? But of course, she said, do your password hint. And I sent that to me, and there's nothing in there. I remember the day I did that, I went, I don't need a hint. I'm always going to remember this.
No.
I know. It's been funny the last 24 hours.
That's hilarious.
I know.
That is funny.
So there's definitely something going on. So what is that nourishing me? It's putting me into a spin, but it's making me look at how much I rely on technology. Because I don't want to store passwords in my head. Oh my God, they're like 15 letters long, and they're letters and numbers and all those. Like, there's no way. I mean, I would have just had everything saying Deborah Cooper if I could. That's, by the way, that's not my password. So good luck if you ever want to try and hack into anything. It's not ever going to be Deborah Cooper. But I would be happy to have Deborah Cooper all the way through and all my passwords. But it's not a nourishing thing for myself.
Right.
But it's making me look at it.
And so perhaps it's helping you look at a bigger picture. Because, you know, for me, I do like my phone, but I don't depend on it to the degree that you do.
Oh my God, I do. I so do.
So that's a really interesting piece for you to go into, because I've done things where it's like, oh yeah, I can look this up on my phone, but it's not the place I had to go. So for instance, when I'm traveling, I always have everything printed out, hard copy as well as on my phone. You do. But then, I mean, I actually did this not so long ago. It's actually all on my tablet as well. So it's like, okay, I'm good. Anything happens, I'm good.
Well, my car parking, it's in my calendar. On my phone. But the nourishing part of this, because it's definitely putting me into a spin, but the nourishing part of this is making me look at how reliant I am on technology, how reliant I am on things that, like I would say to people, just print out your itinerary. And I would say that to somebody. But am I doing my walking my talk? No. But it's definitely making me look at different stuff again. So the nourishing side of it is it's spun me, but it's also making me strategize. Okay, well, so how can I move forward from this? How can I move forward from this?
Yes, and from what I can hear in you and how you're describing this is you realize that you have created it all. And it's like you created it all, and there's pieces of it that's sucky. It's like, yeah, okay, we do that. We do that from time to time.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Yeah.
In fact, before
I can't blame anyone.
No. In fact, before we hit record today, I was telling Deb about how I allowed my own schedule to get to a point of me suddenly realizing what the date was. And I had 3 things that actually would normally get done over the course of a week. And all 3 of them had to get done because it was the last day of the month. And in
a span of 3 hours.
In a span of 3 hours, I was like, oh my God. Well, there's a lot more than that just came out of my mouth. But but then it was like, okay, so I still can stay present. I can be the observer of this. And I actually ended up laughing too. Because like, okay, Moira, pay attention to the numbers on the calendar.
Well, I think because, you know, when you said with that last tip, you said what is showing up for you and what do you like? Awareness. Awareness is the beautiful start. And as soon as you're aware, like what's the thing? Everyone wants to be seen, heard, and acknowledged.
Yeah.
So you can see it, you can hear it, and you can acknowledge it. Like as soon as you do that, you're like, okay. And then you can deal with it. But as soon as you're aware of that whole thing, you're just like, okay, I get it. Right. Now I can move forward. Yep. Because then you're not, and there's no guilt or shame. Like I can't do guilt or shame. Who can I blame? The driver, me, my intuition. It's just like, it is what it is. I hate that saying, it is what it is, but it is what it is.
It is basically what it is. Why do you hate that saying?
I don't know, because people use it all the time, and I'm like, no.
It depends on where they're coming from.
It is what it is.
Because it is what it is.
Yeah.
But see, to me, that saying it is what it is the sort of foundation to then being able to say, okay, it is like this. I accept it. And now what can I do? Rather than this
I think
sucks.
it's common. I don't like common words.
Okay, we'll have to find some elaborate way of saying it is what it is.
So if someone's got any tips, they feel free to put it into the comments on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
That would help me.
What would be a classier, upscale way of saying it is what it is?
It is what it is.
So Deb can be okay with that.
Well, see, that's actually an interesting one because it doesn't nourish me. When people say, like I have a physical reaction. When people say it is what it is, I just go, I literally, my head goes. So that's a nourishing thing as well, because I have a physical reaction. Not only do I go, but my whole body has that within. So I guess one of the things to nourish your body is nourish all aspects of you, is listen to your body, because your body is so intuitive. Your body is telling you, not only your mind, oh, would that be funny if that was your phone? But your body is actually giving you symptoms to wake up to. It is what it is.
I've actually just made a tip based
perfect.
on exactly that, because
Did you
that's
say tip
actually
or
TIP. That's where I come from when I suggest that question. I've done it in previous episodes. Is that how do I feel about myself here?
Yeah,
because that allows you to get into your spidey senses. What are your spidey senses saying? So how do I feel about myself here? Well, I have a bit of a pit in my stomach, or I feel a little bit nervous, or I feel a little bit like there's something
out of kilter.
off.
Yeah.
Or I feel awesome. I feel great. I feel nourished. I feel right. So it's kind of like that. That to me is such a beautiful way, and it's almost like it's a request to come in to the present moment and just say, how do I feel? Oh, I feel good, or I feel discombobulated, or I feel like I'm struggling or searching for something, or lost, or right.
Yeah.
So I think about when you did the clunk, wouldn't that be funny if that was my phone, and laughed. How do I feel about myself? Well, maybe I felt like I could have dealt with that a wee bit differently, right?
Yeah, but I think when you go, okay, maybe I could have dealt with something that a little bit differently, and then that's it.
Yes, yeah, no more story about it. No more like, oh God, I suck because I didn't.
Because then you're gonna spiral into that. Like for me, I just think it's funny. I just think it's like, I look back and I think it's funny. And in fact, I did a call with one of my groups yesterday morning, and I talked about it, and they all went, Deborah, we cannot believe you said it and you talked about it internally to yourself. Like, I want to, rest from the phone. And also then you went, oh, wouldn't it be funny? So you actually giggled and acknowledged it. And then, like, Deborah, you were so intuitive. And I was like, yeah, well, there's so much going on. I wasn't at that time, but I was intuitive, but I just chose to take that. But we had a giggle. I'm like, oh no, God, Deborah, if you do that, there's no, one of them said, if you do that, there's no hope for me. I'm like, oh no, there's definitely hope for you. I said, learn from my ones. But that's exactly it. Your intuition, it's telling you all those things right in front of you anyway. So when you're present, when you're at that 0, we talked about the 0 to 10, when you're at that 0, you can definitely see more. When you're at a 10, you can see, but you may not choose to do anything about it, because you definitely can see it at the 10, but you just may not choose to put your hand up and go, okay, I'm ready.
Absolutely, because at a 10, you might be so frazzled that you get snappy, or like just move on, or like not have the patience or the grace to just kind of go, okay, this is what we're doing.
Hand on heart and breathe through this.
Yeah.
Because even that, the hand on heart will take you from a 10 to a 9.
It will.
Well, it does for me.
Or a 10 to a 5 even.
Yeah, 100% it does for me. The hand on the heart just makes me feel so different. And I say to people, if you get really discombobulated, if you're really in that state, then use that hand and push it like you're going to push that heart right through your back. If you need to put that much pressure on yourself to feel it.
I think I told you this. That I had a conversation with a client a while ago, that because that's what I always say, hand on your heart, keep coming back. She's like, but Moira, the way I'm going, I have to keep my hand on my heart like 24/7. And I said, so?
I'm going to have a new bra that just has my hand fitted in there permanently.
A little pocket for your hand to sit in there.
Yeah, I think that's funny. Yeah. And yes, so tell me something I don't know. Yeah.
Like, so be it. If that's, how does this make me feel about me? Oh, okay, it makes me feel nourished.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes me
Yeah.
feel nourished. Actually, it always does. I can't help it, but I don't know about you, but whenever I do it, I've got my hand on my heart right now, by the way, listeners.
Oh yeah.
There's always this massive warmth that completely melts me into it. Oh yeah, this is my nurturing, this is Moira
And,
nurturing Moira kind of moment.
well, I like that you can do the hand on heart, that you don't have to, it's not a it's not a uh it's not a tapping on your forehead. It's not a tapping. It's not an elastic band on your wrist. It's not a sit down and pray. It's not anything. Hand on heart you can do when you're in the supermarket and something happens, or when you. It's like it's discreet. If I could say it's discreet, would be my thing. You know, not that you worry about what other people think, but sometimes if it does, that's fine. But hand on heart is just something discreet, which I love. But I just thought of something then, you know, when you were talking about that, about our top tips to nourish all aspects of you is, and we talked a little bit about this before the call, funnily enough, is make the decision and then move on. So, and we talked about once and done, you know, so, okay, today I'm going to, like, so my phone, so yeah, I've left my phone there, done, move on. I can't take it back. I've put myself into strategy mode. This is what's happening. Move on. Yesterday I ate some food and it repeated on me, because clearly my body was doing different things. And I'm like, okay, now I've done it and now I can move on. Once and done. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't do this. No, like, just, okay, done. I've made that decision. I'm going to do this, or I'm going to invest in this, or I'm not going to invest in this, or I'm going to listen to this podcast or not listen to this podcast. Make the decision and move on. Once and done.
It's about being okay. Yeah, you make the decision and you be okay. You don't waver and second guess and think, oh, but maybe I should have done this. No. And that's what you're saying. Once and done means,
well, if you're questioning everything, you're not nourishing your body. You're putting yourself on that hamster wheel. You're jumping on the hamster wheel round and round and round and round and round.
And it's then, to me, it would also be, whose agenda are you running yourself with? Because that, oh, maybe I should have done it this way, or oh, but wonder what somebody else might do in this position, or oh, that person doesn't. No, just make the decision. This is the decision based on what I know right now. Because here's the other thing, in like in your example about your phone, no amount of recrimination or telling yourself off or wondering whose fault it was is actually going to change the situation.
No, well, I then asked how would I get my phone, because it's on the other side and it's in customs, and they said, we'll have to offload you off the plane. You'll have to go back through customs. The gate's shut and and I was like, oh. He started talking and I said, just stop. Literally, when he got to the point, you'd have to go back through customs after we've offloaded you, and I went, just stop. It was like too hard. I was like, okay, done. But it is, it's exactly once and done. And we in New Zealand, we have this cleaning product, and such a funny guy, and he just goes spray and walk away.
Okay.
And literally, and I'll say something and then I'll just, and that's my once and done. Spray and walk away. As in, I've said it and now I'm walking away. Or, and it's walk away guilt-free. I know we talked about no shame or guilt at the start, but spray and walk away, like it's done. Once and done. That's it. Move on from your decision.
Yeah. With confidence. And you know what? It
with certainty.
With certainty, and not allowing any kind of little inner critic thing of, oh, but it's got to be just perfect, because that can actually derail the nourishment too. If I can, I got to keep replaying something or keep second guessing myself or checking. Those are not nourishing aspects.
Well, not having my phone, that issue is actually perfect, because it's made me aware to a lot of stuff. But it could, I mean, I was pretty angry at one stage. I was like, and I went to drink a glass of Coke in the airport lounge, and I hadn't had Coke for so long. I was like, right, I'm going to have a Coke. And the Coke was flat.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, universe, I'll just sit here.
And nourish myself with flat Coke.
I know. I was just like, I won't drink that. And then the guy came to take a plate away. He goes, I'll leave you drink. And I said, no, thank you. It's flat. He goes, oh, did we know that? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I wasn't going to tell anyone. I was in that mumble. But yeah, I just, I clearly didn't spray and walk away, but I had to giggle at that. I was like, of course, you actually said you were going to eat something or do something non-toxic that you thought was toxic. And the universe went, nah, Deb, nah.
It's not the plan. No.
I've never had flat Coke in the private airport lounge, ever. But the universe was on my side at always. So maybe that's a great tip. Yeah. Before we wrap up, I know.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just about
the universe.
to bring this one into a close, but that is a really nice one to recognize that the universe has always got your back.
Yeah.
And that you're co-creating this, nourishing all aspects of you. It's you and the universe. Well, the universe's energy is flowing through you anyway. So this has been an excellent conversation. I really like these tips. So if you,
where did our time go?
I don't know. It just disappears.
I just looked and went, what?
Oh, whoops.
I know. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
I think Deb did suggest, dear listeners, to have a note-taking device. But if you hadn't, we're going to rattle through and recap all the tips that we came up with this idea of top tips to nourish all aspects of you. So I will take the first one. It's the first tip we shared was to get clear on what nourishment is to you. What does so we both kind of riffed into what nourishment meant to both of us, and for the most part it was kind of on par. There was different nuances for you and different for me, and I think everybody needs to just feel into that. What does nourishment mean or feel like to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, I wrote fulfilling.
Yeah. Yes, you did. I said high quality sustenance and you said fulfilling.
Yeah, I'll have both those on my platter, thanks. With the side of iPhone.
There you go.
With my passwords, thanks.
Yeah.
And so then the next tip I had was no guilt or shame.
Yes.
And I don't even think we went into anything about that. It's very clear. No guilt or shame with what you're doing. End of, done, full stop.
I added on that one saying to always acknowledge that you're doing the best you can with what you got.
I love that.
Yeah, it's an important part. But no guilt and shame. The next one I have here is where I talked about that when we're talking about all aspects of you or of me or of us, this is the multidimensional aspect of us that we need to be really tapping into all dimensions. Our higher self, our inner self, our mind, body, soul.
Sideways self.
Sideways self. Yep. All of it. And so when you're looking at what does nourishment, what do you require to feel nourished? It's what do you require on all of those aspects of you?
And I wrote down intentions and emotions. You must have talked about that.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your intentions and your emotions? Yeah. The next tip I had is everything is movable.
Yeah.
And not permanent.
You can move the goalpost, as Debz would say.
Yeah, totally. And so it can change daily. It can change in a minute. So don't think, tomorrow's going to be another day, whatever. It can actually change right now. Right now is another moment. So if you're not happy with what's going on, or you are happy or whatever, and you want to change it, then right now you can change it. You don't have to wait till you sleep on it and wake up again. Like this is it. Like don't think you have to. Yeah.
You can just use different words, different commit to it. That's it. This is the next moment.
Yep. Perfect.
Which actually beautifully leads into the next tip I have here is what are you saying to yourself? And what kind of stories are you telling to yourself about yourself? And also being aware of the stories that you hear from other people. Because this is what we were talking about, is you can hear somebody else's story and resonate with a part of it, but it doesn't mean that it's all of yours either.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just to that's a level of awareness too.
And I wrote down, how does it make you feel? So you must have said that. And I think that's the other thing, is how does it make you feel? And be aware of that.
Oh, that came further down, but yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I put that
But
one
that
with that one then.
Okay,
Okay.
that does belong there though, but of course.
But of course, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It is.
The next tip I had is what is showing up for you, and do you like it?
Yeah.
You know, what is showing up for you, and do you like it? And that's when Moira said the cancel.
That's right. Yep.
I can't remember what we did that. I said something at the start. You went cancel. I had a giggle. Just literally before we got on here.
Oh, I think
I
it
don't
was
even know what
your pronunciation of you.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
what it was. Yeah, and she was playing
the
around, and then
maturity
it's
in
like,
me.
oh, whoops, cancel.
Yeah,
But
that's the maturity of me was coming at that. But so just be aware of what you're saying, aware of what what's going on around you, aware of your thoughts, patterns, energies, and those around you. Just awareness. Yeah.
And then and to your point, like if you're saying you referenced the idea of saying, oh, I need a break. Well, cancel. I need a pause, or I need because you may not want a break.
I know.
Right? So I would be cancel to that one, because hey, wait.
Yeah, as soon as you hear it, yeah, that's it. Cancel. Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
And following on from that, I'm not sure if this was actually a separate tip, but I had written down awareness, that to evolve with an awareness, knowing that we all aspects of us want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. So that's the having some unconditional love for all aspects of you, that maybe there is I have an inner whiner in me.
Inner whiner.
Yeah, I don't want to do that though. Oh yes, okay. I see, acknowledge, and hear you.
I know, but as soon as you see, hear, and acknowledge, even yourself, you feel relaxed to it.
Yes, absolutely.
You instantly go, oh,
I'm not resisting. Yeah, okay, honey.
Yeah, doesn't mean you have to agree. Yeah, that's like, and I think that's a key. So see, hear, and acknowledge, and you don't have to agree.
That's
just
right.
See it, hear, and acknowledge it. Like, okay, done.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
that's an important part. See, hear, and acknowledge, but you don't have to agree.
Yeah, because I think people think you've got to agree with everything. Oh, well, you're wrong. You don't. Apart from our tips.
That's right.
You must agree with all those. Yeah. The one I've written down here is your intuition, and your body tells you what it is. So your intuition is 100% on point all the time. And your body has physical, if you're having tummy trouble, or if your body's telling you this feels right, this feels wrong, and I know Moira has a body pendulum that she helps. Well, she does a yes or no would be the way. So if you'd like a copy of that, then put it in the Facebook chat. If you like the way I just do that. If you'd like a copy of that, put that in the Facebook chat. I'm sure
Moira will send it to you. Moira will put it there for you.
There you go. She'll put that there, but you've got to ask for it.
Yes, you do.
So your body tells you what it is, and what it is. This is where I had it is what it is. And also, under this tip, if you have another saying of it is what it is, then feel free to put that in there. And I'm going to say, Ruth Ann, I think you'd be the one who'd do this.
There you go, Ruth Ann.
A special one for you. You can reword it. Yeah, throw it out to Ruth Ann. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is and this is, remember I said that the how do I feel about myself came further down, and it was there because I always say that that's a beautiful way to get in touch with your intuition, because it's your feelings that are kind of coming up to sort of say, oh, I feel nervous but excited, or I feel heavy and this is a no. So just how do I feel about myself here is a beautiful way to just honor and recognize my intuition is my guidance system.
Perfect.
Yes. The next one I have was, we've talked about the hand on heart as being, that's another really nice way to not only tap into your intuition, but it's also a very nice calming for your entire nervous system. It just helps soothe you, calm you down especially in moments of discombobulation.
Yeah, yes, totally. It takes you into that PEMS, and it brings you closer to the single figures.
Yep, absolutely. And it feels good. It feels good.
Yeah. And reminding yourself, I live here. This is where my decisions are made, not in my head.
Very nourishing. Nourishing.
Hamster wheel.
Yeah.
The one I had was make the decision, move on. And And Moira and I both often say once and done. Once and done. And in New Zealand, we have an advert. He's a funny wee thing. And it's called spray and walk away. That's exactly it. Spray and walk away. So it's spray it and then trust it's going to be done and walk away. Like it's done. That's it. Once and done. You don't have to make the decision, spin around. Did I do right? Did I do wrong? Is it going to affect everyone? Make the decision and move on, because getting onto that hamster wheel is one long-winded, downhill spiraling,
that'll keep you stuck at
non-nourishing non-nourishing way.
Totally. And I just realized, so I have one more tip here, is when we were saying about the universe got your back. Universe is always conspiring and co-conspiring for you to help you nourish, to help you be aware of what it is you need to nourish. But something I just thought of when we were talking about the once and done, make the decision and move on, it's trust.
I was going to say
that is trust.
I had that as the last one as well, because I went, oh my God, we didn't talk about trust. Trust is so important. So I love that you've got that. The universe is always on your side. Make the decision. Trust is so important for everything.
Yep. That you are in the right place at the right time. You are making the right choices. Everything is flowing in the most nurturing and nourishing way for all aspects of you.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's perfect.
That's funny.
Perfect.
That was funny.
Yeah.
So, dear listeners, we'd love to hear about how this feels for you. Do you feel nourished? Do you feel filled up? What was your favorite tip here? And we'd also love to know what number you were at the beginning, and did you check in at the halfway point? And now we're all going to check in to see where are we on our scale of 0 to 10. I was at a 1.5 and Deb was at a 2.5. Where would you be now, my dear?
I'm at a 0.5.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% a 0. I've just got a few little things in my mind, but I'm definitely a 0. I've shifted. And then I was like, was I really a 2? And my question was I really a 2.5 when I started this? Clearly I was. Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
For me, I am at a 0. I really enjoyed this. I love this. It feels very nourishing to me.
It does.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So listeners, we trust that this filled you up and nourished you. If you loved this, we know you did. But if you loved this, your next step is to share it, to have nurturing, nourishing conversations around you, to share these tips and ideas. And let's keep the conversation going. We'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas in our Facebook group. You can either message us directly or put it in the comments underneath this episode or right into our group that's there. We would love to have some interaction. So share it, share it with people that all around you, people you know, people you don't know, to help nurture and nourish.
Perfect.
That is us wrapping up another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. This is Debz over there.
Yay! That's me.
And Moira over here, signing off and wishing you a beautiful week ahead. We'll be back with you again next week. Much love. Bye.
Perfect. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.